Hey guys, it's Cece, and today I'm going to do the Disney book tag. This tag was originally created by Caddytastic, and it was supposed to be for the release of Isle of the Lost, but I honestly just wanted to do it. I didn't get tagged by anyone, but I love Disney and I love books, so I'm gonna do this tag anyway. So here we go. The first category is The Little Mermaid. Pick a character who is out of their element or a fish out of water. And for this one I picked Thomas Hunter from the Circle series by Ted Dekker. Thomas, within the first chapter of this book, is knocked over the head, he's shot in the head, and he wakes up in a fantasy world. And from then on throughout the book, whenever he goes to sleep in one world, he wakes up in the other. So it goes between the real world and the real world and the fantasy world. And Thomas is out of his element. He has no idea what's going on. He handles it fairly well, but he definitely is very confused, especially for a majority of this first book in the series. The second category for this tag is Cinderella, a character who goes through a major transformation. And for this one I picked Wanda from The Host by Stephenie Meyer. I know, I'm pulling out an old one for this. I just think Wanda from beginning to end changes so drastically. She goes, from being the wanderer and from taking over a human's body to not being those things anymore. Wanda changes so much through the course of this book, and so do a lot of the other characters in this book, but Wanda goes through, I think, the biggest transformation. She is just definitely no longer the same person by the end of the book that she was, well, not person, alien being? I guess. She's no longer the same as she was by the time she gets to the end of this book. The third category was Snow White. Pick a book with an eclectic cast of characters. And for this one, I picked The Gone series by Michael Grant. Not even just the first book. You need the whole series, but I'm not going to get them all out. This book is about a group of kids in this beach town, and all of a sudden, one day, everyone over the age of 15 disappears. And to top it all off, soon after they disappear, kids start developing superpowers. This book counts for eclectic cast of characters because they're just, considering that this is, a beach town, I don't know if it's supposed to be small, but it's like 2 miles of space, I think. There are so many different kinds of kids here. There are so many ages and so many different characters, and then also the different powers, and then how they all interact between, the good kids and the bad kids and the in-between. There are so many different kinds of characters that are trapped in this book that it makes for a really interesting group of people to be interacting. The next category is Sleeping Beauty, a book that put you to sleep, and I chose On the Road by Jack Kerouac. I don't think I'm gonna finish this book. It's just not going to happen. Every time I read it, I go to sleep. I get so sleepy whenever I read it. Yeah, it's not connecting with me. I am not gonna be able to finish this book. Sorry, people who love On the Road. Not for me. Not for me. Sorry. The next category is The Lion King, a character who had something traumatic happen to them in their childhood. And for this one I picked Celaena Sardothien from the Throne of Glass series by Sarah J. Maas. Celaena, I've read the first 3 books of this series. Without giving too much away, some stuff happened to Celaena when she was a kid that affected her a lot, and you know more and more as the books go on, so by the time you get to Book 3, I haven't read the novellas yet, by the time you get to Book 3, you know a lot of the traumatic stuff that happened to her. She went through stuff. I feel like I need to give her a hug, but she wouldn't let me give her a hug. I wish I could give her a hug. Oh, Celaena. Oh, Celaena. The next category was Beauty and the Beast, which is a big book that you were intimidated by, but ended up finding beautiful. And for this one, I chose The Count of Monte Cristo by Alexandre Dumas. This book is absurdly long. It is the longest book I've ever read. I checked to make sure. It is absurdly long, and it took me months and months to get through while reading other books because, wow. I don't know if I would necessarily call this book beautiful. I don't know if I found it beautiful at the end, but I really enjoyed it, and I'm really glad that I fought my way through every one of the over 1,400 pages, because it was just a really good adventure. It was written really well. I did think some of it was beautiful. I'll give it that. Okay. The next category is Aladdin, a character who gets their wish granted for better or for worse. And for this one I picked Tally from the Uglies series by Scott Westerfeld. I guess that's kind of a spoiler, but Tally wishes for certain things in her life, and those things happen, and it's not exactly how she expected it would be. Tally wishes for a lot of things in this over the course of this series that don't work out exactly how she'd want them to, but I don't think that there's a better example of a character who just keeps wishing and just keeps having it not turn out very good at all. The next category is Mulan, a character who pretends to be something that they are not. And for this category, I chose Dashti from Book of a Thousand Days by Shannon Hale. In this book, Dashti is locked up with Lady Saren, and Lady Saren doesn't want to be married, which is why they are both locked up. But suitors keep coming to the tower to ask for her hand, and because Lady Saren won't speak to them, Dashti has to pretend to be her, which is a crime punishable by death. This is one of my favorite books. This is a fairy tale retelling Shannon Hale does a lot of those. I don't remember what this is a retelling of exactly. This is one of my favorite books. It's so well written, and Dashti's a really good character. Dashti? Oh no, I think it's Dashti. The next category is a book that you wish the characters would come to life, and I'm going to have to go with the Harry Potter series by J.K. Rowling. I played around with a couple other ones. I almost wanted to pick The Fault in Our Stars, but I thought that might be in bad taste. But Harry Potter has some of the best characters ever. J.K. Rowling creates such interesting, fascinating characters that everyone has one to connect to. Everyone has someone that they see themselves in and that they love so much. I have a long bottom. But if I could have any collection of characters come to life, it would be Harry Potter. If I could choose some people also that don't come to life, if I could just pick some people to stay in the book, like, I don't know, Voldemort and Snape, if they could just stay in here, then we'd be good. And Umbridge, she can stay in there too. Okay. And finally, Disney Descendants, your favorite villain or morally ambiguous character. And for this one, I picked The Mayor from The Knife of Never Letting Go by Patrick Ness. This is the first book in the Chaos Walking trilogy. The Mayor is one of the most well-written villains of all time. I think he's definitely one of my absolute favorites. I'm terrified of the Mayor. Not because he's super, super evil, but because he is sort of ambiguous and he goes back and forth, and sometimes you don't know whose side he's on, and he plays with your head just like he plays with Todd's. The Mayor is scary. He's such a good villain. People should take some notes from Patrick Ness on how to write villains, because, wow. Yeah. Well, guys, that's it for me. Thanks for watching, and if you've read some of these books, or if you have your own picks for some of these categories, leave them in the comments below. I would love to hear about them, and I will see you in another video real soon. Bye!